Hey guys, Focus Friday for you. I want to talk today about supporting the lyric. Supporting the lyric. In music, they say that melody is king, meaning everything that happens in a song should support the main melody of the song. But in worship music, lyric is king. Lyric is king. Melody is still important, yes, perhaps it's the queen, but lyric is the king. Why? Well, because if we've done our job wisely and have chosen songs wisely, then the lyrics of the songs that we're singing are filled with the truth of God's word. And it's the truth of God's word that transforms our people's hearts, strengthens their faith, convicts them of sin, confronts them in their trial, and lifts their eyes to Jesus. The truth of God's word does those things. And so it's our job as musicians and technical artists to make sure that we are always supporting the truth of those words, that we're always supporting the lyric. We want to bolster the lyric, we want to strengthen the lyric, enliven the lyric, and enrichen the lyric by our artful skill. And there's a negative way and a positive way to strengthen the lyric. The negative side would be to not distract or detract from the lyric. We don't want to distract from the lyric. For example, if the lyric slides are late, then that's going to distract the congregation from the lyric. That's obvious. If the lights are flashing out of context, they're like going crazy and it's a kind of a quiet, intimate song, that's going to distract from the lyric. If the piano player or the electric guitarist are playing their own melody lines that interfere with the clarity of the melody, then that's a distraction from the lyric. And so the first way to support the lyric is by not detracting or distracting from the lyric. But more importantly, what I want to talk about in this little episode is how we want to enhance the lyric. We want to work really hard in our craft to support the lyric and enhance it and make it more vivid and more bright in the minds of our congregants. So how do we do that? Well, it means that you're working really hard to match the emotion of the lyric with what you're doing, whether it's lighting or whether it's a reverb you put on a vocal or whether it's the tone of your guitar or the notes that you're playing. You want to match the emotion of the lyric. So I'm going to give you some examples of the ways we can do that. For pro presenter people, is the song joyful? If it is, then use a fast, bright background. Is it worshipful and moody? Then use a different background. Use a darker or slower background with slower movement. Is it about God's glory and creation? Then use a mountain or an ocean or a field graphic. The same for lighting. Is it a big part of a song? Then use bigger lighting moves and bolder colors. For singers, if the lyric is tender and intimate, then you need to deliver it with tenderness and nuance. Is it big and bold? What's the lyric saying? Is it you have no rival? Then you should deliver that with power and with boldness. For drummers and bass players, how can you support the lyric? Well, it's very important that your rhythms match the phrasing of the lyric, the meter, the timing of the lyric. Your kick pattern and your bass playing should always match the metering of the lyric to support it and bolster it and come under it. You don't want to be playing counter rhythms to the rhythm of the lyric. So be aware of that. For piano players and guitar players, don't play across the melody line. Maybe pick notes and timing that can come in at different parts of the melody to support the melody, or play the core hook of the melody underneath the singer's melody. And I would also say for guitarists and piano players, support the tone of the lyric with your tone, with your guitar tone or your piano tone. Change your tone to match the feeling that the lyric is attempting to convey. And there are so many piano sounds now on our new piano. Don't just use the same piano sound for every song. Pick the right emotion and right sound to help the lyric and the song be stronger. And so guys, just as worship artists, as people using art to convey God's truth, our goal should always be to support the lyric in everything we do. So keep that in mind, keep that in mind and try to match the emotion of the lyric and draw out the essence that it's trying to communicate. And the clearer we can help the lyric be communicated, the better, because that is what has the power to change hearts and lives. So let's keep that in mind each time we serve our church through song. God bless you guys.